Hepatitis means inflammation of your liver. Anytime you put itis before a word, it means inflammation of. And hepatitis, again, which is inflammation of our liver, can be caused by so many different things. But before we talk about what causes hepatitis, what causes this inflammation, it's important to understand what our liver does so that we understand what happens when your liver becomes inflamed. So a liver is a very important organ. You cannot live without your liver, and it's in the upper right part of our abdomen. It's just under our ribs, and it does so many different jobs. It does jobs like filtering toxins out of our blood. So what our liver does is it gets rid of harmful stuff like medications, it breaks them down, waste products that our body makes naturally, alcohol. It's basically your body's detox center, and what it does is it processes these toxins so that they can leave your body safely in your urine or your feces. Our liver also makes something called bile. Bile is this yellowish fluid that helps us digest fats in our food. It basically breaks down fats into smaller pieces so enzymes can break them down even more. So bile gets rid of waste like bilirubin, which is made when old red blood cells are broken down. Our liver also processes nutrients from food. So after we eat, our liver handles carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, and it stores extra sugar, glucose, as glycogen so that you can use it for energy later. It also breaks down fats and proteins into things that our body can use. So basically our liver makes sure that our body has what it needs to run smoothly. It also helps our blood. So our liver makes these clotting factors that stop us from bleeding too much if we get hurt. It also keeps our blood sugar stable by releasing and storing the sugar glucose. And finally, it stores vitamins and minerals. And so our liver holds on to things like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin B12, iron, other things so that our body can use them when needed. So our liver does a lot of important things, and when it's damaged, which can be caused by inflammation, it can cause a lot of serious problems. So when a liver is inflamed, we call that hepatitis. And so hepatitis can be caused by many different things, and the inflammation damages liver cells, and if it keeps happening, it can lead to things like scarring of your liver. It can lead to cirrhosis, which is severe scarring that can't be reversed, can lead to liver failure when the liver completely stops working, and it can also lead to liver cancer. So chronic inflammation over time increases someone's risk of cancer. But keep in mind that your liver can remake itself. So even if you get hepatitis, depending on what causes it, sometimes your liver can heal itself. So what causes hepatitis? It can be caused by various viruses. So we call that viral hepatitis. There's different viruses and they cause hepatitis. So hepatitis A is caused by the hepatitis A virus that you get through contaminated food or water. And it usually causes this short-term illness and doesn't really lead to too much damage. You can just, if you eat contaminated food, a lot of people get hepatitis A. Hepatitis B is a lot more serious. It's caused by the hepatitis B virus, and you get it through blood or sexual contact. It causes short-term, acute, and long-term infections, chronic, and it can lead to liver scarring or liver cancer. Hepatitis C is caused by the hepatitis C virus, and it's mostly spread through blood, like sharing needles, and it can also cause severe liver damage. Hepatitis D only infects people who already have hepatitis B, which can make their illness even worse. And then there's also hepatitis E, which is also spread through contaminated food and water, similar to hepatitis A. So those are different viruses. A is okay, B is very bad. And then you can also get hepatitis from alcohol. So the reason why alcohol damages your liver is because alcohol is a toxin. And so when someone drinks a lot of alcohol, your body doesn't have enough time to break down the toxic components of alcohol. And so if the damage keeps happening, you end up with hepatitis. Also, certain medications like Tylenol, like acetaminophen, when people take too much Tylenol without waiting for the proper time for your liver to clear it out, your liver can't handle too much, so it overwhelms your system and it starts causing inflammation, which kills liver cells. And then there's other drugs that can do this. Too much herbal supplements can also cause damage to your liver. And then there's also autoimmune conditions. So sometimes people have autoimmune condition where their immune system mistakenly attacks their liver. That's called autoimmune hepatitis, and it causes long-term inflammation. There's also fat-related liver problems. So there's something called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which means that you have liver disease that's not caused by alcohol, but caused by too much fat buildup. This can be due to diabetes or obesity. And if the liver gets inflamed, it's a problem here. So the symptoms of hepatitis, when a person has hepatitis, they can range from being mild to severe, and they depend on the cause. Like, is the cause a virus, or is the cause too much Tylenol or alcohol or other things? But the most common things you see is fatigue. So a person feels tired all the time because their liver just isn't functioning properly. You also see jaundice, which is yellowing, usually here. It's in your skin, but you can see it here because you have bilirubin buildup. You can see dark urine. So when the bile isn't being processed, it shows up in someone's urine. A person can have abdominal pain. They can have nausea, vomiting, and loss of appetite because the liver is getting so inflamed, so big. Hepatitis is treated differently depending on the cause. So for viral hepatitis, so for the ones that are caused by contaminated food and water, those are, I would say, like the simpler hepatitis, like hepatitis A and hepatitis E. Your body usually just fights it off on its own, kind of similar to COVID. For more serious viral infections like hepatitis B or hepatitis C, you need antiviral medications to prevent liver damage. For alcoholic hepatitis, the first thing is to stop drinking alcohol completely. And in severe cases, someone is given steroids to reduce inflammation because your liver can remake itself, which is great. For Tylenol overdose, it has its own treatment, but you're also told to stop taking Tylenol. And then for autoimmune hepatitis, they're given certain medications to suppress your immune system, like steroids and other things. And then for fat-induced hepatitis, you're told to adjust your diet and exercise.